Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for another episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Season 1, Episode 3, Power Broker. Welcome, everybody. Let me take care of some business first, and we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. Basically, what YouTube does, takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up there just for you. Also, if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, you get the bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com, where I've got the schedule up that I change it out every week. Also, I have my all the links to my social media, so Twitter, Instagram, Patreon. No tiers over on the Patreon. Waiting until I hit 1,000 subscribers. That way, I'll set up some tiers. When you guys give me money, I will give you stuff in return. After a certain amount of months, kind of thing. Also, I have the links to this YouTube channel, my Facebook page, and for those of you who still have Facebook, a Facebook group page where you guys can post stuff and chat amongst yourselves. All right, let's get to it because we have a lot to unpack. Spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episode. If you have not seen the episode, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video. You can comment down below in the comment section. All right, we got it. Spoilers? Yes? No? Yes? No? All right. Mufinomi says, who is the power broker? What's in the box? A mystery. Someone we know? I don't know. Mufinomi. I wish I did. So just a reminder that this all takes place in 2024 because we had the blip happen, of course. And yeah. So we're still in the future a bit. We, of course, open with John Walker and Battlestar kind of trying to find out where the hell Carly is at this point. And he's getting really super frustrated. You can see that Walker is actually getting, pissed off. He's getting short fuse temper. He's snapping at people. He's even using the "Do you know who I am?" card kind of thing. And yeah, it's not looking good for him. And the thing is, we only met him last episode. We saw him at the end of episode 1, but we actually got to know him in episode 2. And now we're getting, the turn, I guess you could say, or seeing the dark side of him in episode 3. And remember, we only have 3 more episodes left. So that's the reason everything's moving really, really, really fast on all of this. Bucky, of course, and Sam, in the meantime, have actually gone over to Berlin to go and talk to Baron Zemo because he's the only one who knows what Hydra was doing with the Super Soldier program, concerning that he stole the little booklet from a certain Hydra agent that he killed, and that's how he took control of Bucky from the Winter Soldier program. So Bucky visits him in his Berlin prison and gives him the means to escape. And Sam, and Baron Zemo go out and basically start looking for clues at this point. And we are reminded that Baron Zemo is a baron. He literally is a baron. It isn't a title that he put upon himself. He was actually born into that title. He actually has money and shit. So he has a Learjet waiting for him, expensive. He's got a butler on board the plane, all this stuff. And they fly off to a name that will probably be familiar to those of you Marvel fans out there and you mutant fans out there as well, Madripoor. So Madripoor is a fictional island, of course. It's basically 20 miles, excuse me. Yeah, not 20 miles. It's just south of Singapore is what it is. It was formed in the 1800s as a pirate island, and we actually saw a lot of Wolverine on Madripoor. At one point, I believe Wolverine was in charge of Madripoor in the comics. So, yeah, and the first mention of Madripoor actually comes around in the New Mutants in 1985. So, yeah, this has a very long comic history at this point. In the meantime, we see a little bit more of Carly as well. She is helping out people that have been displaced. She actually goes to a refugee center that this global recovery center, or the GRC, is actually, I guess you could say, hoarding stuff, supplies that are for people in need, and her group takes it, and Carly ends up going to the next level by killing the people that had the stuff there. She blows up the place. And as she puts it, that's the only way these people will learn. It's the only language that they understand. So she is now killing people at this point. Not a good thing. Um, yeah. So over in Madripoor, Sam and basically Baron Zemo is playing Baron Zemo. Winter Soldier, or Bucky, has to play Winter Soldier again, and Sam gets a new character as well, and Smiling Tiger. So he ends up getting a little a character that he's going to play. So they go into the Brass Monkey to go and find some clues, and they're going to go and talk to someone named Selby, which is a contact that Baron Zemo had. And they find out from Selby that Dr. Wilfred Nagel is the one that actually is the one that made the super soldier serum. And he's there in Madripoor. And so, yeah, it's one of those things they need to track him down. And just after she gives them this information, she gets shot through the heart. And immediately, as soon as she gets shot, there's a bounty that goes out on their heads for anybody, for the guys who killed Selby, which seems a little bit strange because the shot came through the window. So what is this about? Is it the power broker? We know the power broker is in Madripoor and actually runs Madripoor. And Selby works for the power broker. And actually Baron Zemo was told in the bar that the power broker doesn't like him there. So we don't know who this power broker is. We also know that Carly is on the run from the power broker because that's where she stole her vials of super soldier serum from, was from the power broker. And yes, I keep saying power broker, but I'm going to keep saying it anyway. So who this is, we don't know. Who shot Selby, we don't know. Who put the bounty on everybody, we don't know. All we do know is that Sharon Carter comes into all of this and saves the boys' asses a little bit, takes them in, and says, basically, Sam gives her a deal. He goes, hey, if you help us out, I'll clear your name. That way you can come back to the United States. You won't be on the run anymore. And remember, she's been on the run since Civil War. So Cap and Sam were actually on the run for stealing the shield for 2 years. Then Sam, of course, disappeared from the blip. So that was 5 more years. So it's 7 years that Sharon's been on the run from all of this. She is pretty much turned to, she's living the good life in Madripoor right now. Yeah. Philip says, I like the idea of Agent Carter 2. Agent 13 is her moniker there, Philip. I kind of figured they hinted at her as a power broker, but I don't think she is. I don't think she's part of the Flag Smashers either. So, yeah. And there's a lot of misdirection going on in this series. A lot of misdirection. I have a feeling that maybe even Baron Zemo might be the power broker. That was one of my theories when I was watching it, but we don't know for sure. So Carly's turn, by the way, to killing people comes after she visits Donya Madani, and it's someone that she knows who dies. We don't know if it's her mother or what it is, but right after she dies, she basically is just like, fuck these people, I'm going to kill everybody. Yeah. So, of course, the boys end up tracking down Dr. Wilfred Nagel. He was also someone who got dusted during the blip. Before the blip, he was actually working for the CIA on Project Rebirth. Project Rebirth, by the way, is reconstructing the super soldier serum, and he was using Isaiah Bradley's blood. Remember, he was talking about in episode 2 that he was incarcerated, and Hydra agents kept pulling his blood. And Nagel was actually able to isolate the super soldier serum in his blood and make it even better. As he said, he didn't want somebody who was roided out. He wanted someone who looked normal but still had super strength. That was what his contribution was to the super soldier serum, which actually is pretty genius, by the way. In the meantime, while they are there talking, while Sam and Bucky are talking to Nagel, a whole bunch of fucking bounty hunters are coming into the this shipping area, and Sharon's trying to find them as best she can, but of course she can't hold them back forever. And before the container gets blown up, we end up having Baron Zemo shoot Nagel. Why? We don't know. We do know he offers up that he had 20 vials of super soldier serum that Carly stole. We know that she's used 8 so far. So we got another 12 that are left over someplace with Carly. Yeah. Oh man. So there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. So they leave Madripoor at this point. They're going to go over to Latvia, which is where Carly was before, and she said goodbye to Danya Madani. And when they get to Latvia, um, Bucky kind of peels off from Baron Zemo and Sam to go, and he sees something and says, "I'm just going to take a walk around." And we see him pull up this little ball, this little metal ball, and he's walking through the streets and he's finding these little metal balls and he picks them up. And finally, he just says out, "You dropped something, why don't you come and pick it up?" And who shows up but Io from Wakanda? She is part of the Dora Milaje, which is, of course, their special forces. And yeah, it's that's where we kind of leave off on the episode. Is we know now that Io is there for Baron Zemo because, of course, he killed T'Chaka, T'Challa's father, and they want to kill him pretty much at this point. Yeah, and that's kind of where we leave off on this. A good episode, it really was. We got a little more backstory on Baron Zemo, and we dug a little bit deeper into the Marvel lore. And also, we got Madripoor in there. So I don't know if they're going to be introducing mutants or anything anytime soon, but probably they will at this point. But we are also on the road to of U.S. Agent John Walker there, most likely taking the serum because we know there's 12 vials left of super soldier serum out there. And he's going to end up, of course, if he takes it, especially if he's going to be on drugs or something like that, in order to deal with all the stress that he's been dealing with, it's going to be a bad news situation on all of this. Yeah. So good stuff. And I know a lot of people are going, "Oh, this is slow. It's it's taking too long." And I actually like this. This was a good change of pace from WandaVision. WandaVision, I love. It was great. But I need a little bit more of this too. It's a different animal. It really is. But it's good stuff nonetheless. And we're digging into a little bit of Cap's past as well. Oh yeah, and Bucky says, by the way, that he's going to steal a shield from Walker. He goes, "I'm going to take it then for myself," is what he says if Sam's not going to do it. Yeah. Movie Nobody says there's only 3 left. Deeper story. It's good. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. And also Agent Carter there. We don't know what's going on with her. She met up with her driver there at the end and said, keep an eye out for some stuff. We don't know exactly what it is. Raymond says, if they really wanted Zemo, why didn't they get him when he was in prison? Oh, because they couldn't get to him. They couldn't get to him, Raymond, without starting an international incident. That's the story that they have. Mm-hmm. I did like the prison break scene though, when Bucky was basically talking Sam into. He goes, "Well, what exactly would happen if?" And then as he's talking about this, it's all happening, and I kind of like that. I mean, this episode is a little bit choppy just from the editing, but it wasn't bad. And by the way, it was written by Derek Kolstad, who is the creator of John Wick, the John Wick series. He wrote up, 1, 2, and 3. Well, partially 3, but 1 and 2 definitely. So yeah. I like the pacing on this one. It was good. Mufino, he says formula derived from Isaiah, which is And the thing is, so in the comics, Isaiah Bradley actually ends up with dementia because of well, a lot of brain damage, one, and then also from the beatings that he took and stuff like that. But also, I believe they also said because of the serum as well. There was some stuff from the serum that happened. And I'm wondering if there's going to be any side effects of this super soldier serum as well. But we don't know because, I mean, Dr. Nagel is dead. Yeah. Raymond says, yeah, it reminded me of the Oceans movie. So it didn't remind me of the Oceans movie, Raymond. It reminded me of Pena from Ant-Man when he's telling his stories. That's what it reminded me of. It kind of reminded me of that scene where he's going through. Remember my cousin? My cousin really likes wine. He's into wine, and we go into this little. That whole thing just cracks me up. It really does. What's up with the Robin Hood chick killing people now? Like I said, after she met with Donya Madani, the woman who was dying there of tuberculosis, I think that was kind of her last link to humanity, I guess you could say. And because of that woman dying of tuberculosis in a camp, refugee camp, and not getting the supplies that she needed, and then having all these people sitting on these supplies for refugees that actually needed those supplies, that kind of triggered her and made her start killing people. Well, it didn't make her. I mean, she decided to do that. So, yeah. Yeah. But again, some good stuff. I'm digging this series. I really am. It's a lot of fun. Sorry, I've got sun streaming in from my upper window. That's why I have this big bright patch here for my face. I'm gonna have to do something about that now. Jeez. The whole earth keeps shifting and we get different sun patterns now. And yeah, man, let's figure something out on that. So, what else do I have this week? Tomorrow is going to be another episode of Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I take the genre news of the week and any genre stuff you guys want to talk about, and we talk about it. Sunday will be Invincible, episode 4. Episode 4 of Invincible. That's right. Monday, I was actually going to do a new series, but I'm going to hold off on that. I'm going to be off on Monday. Tuesday will be another episode of Is It Worth My Time? And this time around, it's Godzilla versus King Kong. Wednesday, I'll be off. Thursday, I'll also be off. And then Friday, we roll back around again to The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. All right. Raymond says, but was her aggression enhanced by the serum? I don't think the serum actually made her kill people or want to kill people, Raymond. I think that was the whole, of Madani dying. So I think that was kind of like a mother figure for her. So that's, we get the idea that, well, she even says to the guy that she was with that they got kicked out on the street after the whole blip when people returned. They had to go to Madripoor in order to make ends meet, as she says, and they were in Lowtown. And that's, kind of where she learned her other trades, I guess. And that's why she wanted to be a teacher, is what she said, or something like that. And but wasn't able to do that because of all the hardship that happened to her, is what she says. Yeah. So it's a little bit of trying to elicit some sympathy for somebody that's killing people, but yeah, I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. There's 3 more episodes to play out, so it's 3 more hours that we've got. We're at the halfway point of the movie. It's intermission time. Yeah, there you go. You get the idea. For those of you old enough to know what the fucking intermission is. All right. So I'm gonna let you guys go for the evening. Thank you to everybody who joined me tonight in the chat, and thank you if you made it this far in the video. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. Basically, YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching, tries to match it as best as possible one of the videos in my vast video library, and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button, like button, and the share button if you can. Also, if you want to know when we'll be on live again next, you get the bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. Also, all the links to my social media and all the links to my pages like this YouTube channel page, Facebook, and Facebook group page where you guys can post stuff and chat amongst yourselves. And yes, I have mood lighting on my camera at the moment. I went in and changed the white balance, and it's just still fucking around. Anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. I will see you again tomorrow for Saturday morning blast off. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may wind up having to escape from a German prison while there's a riot going on in progress, because that's the best way to get out when there's a lot of commotion going on, because the prisoners outnumber the guards 9-1. Remember that. Thanks, everybody. I will see you again tomorrow. Until then, stay safe, be well, take care. Wear those masks, and if you can, get those vaccine shots. Thanks, everybody. See you, Jody. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a good rest of your night.